The Toxic Avenger, the original one, was, I want to say, an 80s film. It was like the mascot of Trauma Entertainment. It was like the big thing that kept coming out, more and more Toxic Avenger, the big cinematic universe. He was the mascot for Trauma Entertainment. And unfortunately, I'd never seen him. I'd never seen any of the Trauma movies. Probably because they were too indie. And during the era in which you might have been lucky enough to find a copy in the wild, it would probably have been at a video store in the late 80s to early 90s. After that point, they would just vanish unless you ordered it online or something. So I had never watched any of the Trauma movies until now. Here we have The Toxic Avenger unrated. This is a remake of the original Toxic Avenger. The Toxic Avenger is very violent. The original one is more violent. The original one had more practical effects, very funny effects, cheap effects, but very practical, funny looking, very gory, very over the top. And that's what Trauma is known for being over the top, for being uncaring to audience sensibilities. It knows what its audience is. It might not be a big audience, but it knows what its audience is and delivers to that audience. That's what the Toxic Avenger is doing as well. It knows its audience. It knows. It's the audience that watches the Terrifier movies for the insane kills and over-the-top funny antics of its killer. That is the audience that came to see the Toxic Avenger unrated. Now, even though it says unrated, it's probably just unrated because of the violence. There's no nudity in this film, so you don't have to worry about that if you're very scared of skin. If you're scared of skin, I know it's very scary. You see crack, you see the cleavage, you see naked skin. It's very scary. I know it can give you nightmares. It's very scary. You can handle heads being ripped off with the spinal cord being attached to the head, waving it around with dripply crimson droppy drops and the twitching mouth of the severed head. You can watch that. You can watch fingers being removed from hands and clap and clap and clap. But if you see any bare skin, you shiver in fear and say, no, that's too far. You can do all of that in your video games and your movies, but you are not allowed to show skin. It's not allowed. No, we're scared of skin. We must protect the children from this. You could show violence to them, but not skin. Woo! And so there's none of that in the Toxic Avenger remake. If there was any in the original, then you'll have to go to that one to find your skin. We have here Peter Dinklage, who plays the Toxic Avenger before he turns into the Toxic Avenger. After the transformation, it's a different the person playing the Toxic Avenger, he becomes a little bit taller, so he's played by a different person, but it's still Peter Dinklage's voice coming out of it. The effects and the makeup, it's all practical, it's very beautiful. There's some CG, especially with the radioactive staff, which is basically a mop that he dips in radioactive material and it becomes this big slicing staff. He just punches people with it and their bodies explode bloody and all that stuff. It's very fun to watch the violence unfold here. Elijah Wood and Kevin Bacon are in here. They play brothers. Elijah Wood is like the Igor, and Kevin Bacon is the good-looking corporate bad guy. Kevin Bacon is fantastic in this type of role, and I need him to do more roles like this in more incredibly over-the-top violent movies, violent slashers. In fact, I would love to see Kevin Bacon in a Scream movie as one of the killers. He would be awesome as that. Maybe the father of one of the killers even. So he would be like, no, in the second killer. And you would be like, it's a father-son duo. Why not? It's fun. Why not? Kevin Bacon's just one of those characters, one of those actors now that just oozes this type of jerk bag. He was very good at being a jerk bag. Very funny character, very funny. And Elijah Wood is the Igor with the heart of somewhat gold, morally gray character. He does a lot of bad things, but he feels bad about doing it. So we could forgive him a little bit because he saves the Toxic Avenger's son at the end of the movie. He saves him, so he tries to come around to the good guy side. His outfit, the way he looks, the way his aesthetic looks, reminded me a little bit of the Penguin from the Tim Burton Batman movie. He looks like the Penguin, and I'm like, if we make another Batman movie in the Tim Burton style, there's your Penguin, Elijah Wood. There he is. Dude, if James Gunn, if you're going to make Penguin, here he is. There he is. Do it. Come on, go ahead. He's awesome in it. He was very awesome. It was just a very enjoyable movie overall. But honestly, I can't sell this movie to anybody who isn't going to want to see it to begin with. It's the same thing with Terrifier. If you are not going to enjoy the idea of somebody being ripped in half, all sorts of blinking, sprinkling little crimson lights flying up in the air or coating everybody in crimson, if you're not the type of person to enjoy those types of scenes in a slasher movie, and go like, whoa, man, and over the top crap kills and all that stuff, and go and marvel at the practical effects and artistically grotesque stuff going on. If you're not the person to enjoy any of that, then you're not going to enjoy The Toxic Avenger. But if you enjoy movies like Cyst, if you enjoy movies like Glorious, Psycho Goreman, then you're going to enjoy The Toxic Avenger. Especially if you enjoyed Psycho Goreman. If you enjoyed Psycho Goreman, you're going to enjoy The Toxic Avenger.